Morning and welcome to what is likely to be a fairly soggy section 4 of the London Outer Orbital Path. Hopefully it'll brighten up later and we've got the right gear, so let's just enjoy this fourth walk of our London Loop series. So let's go. So we're just coming into Coney Park now. See through the heavy drizzle. And there's something special that we're just going to see in a minute in this park. Yep, here we are on the prime meridian of the world. And I'm actually standing with one foot in the eastern half of the world and the other foot in the western half of the world, looking south. And there it sits in this fairly unremarkable recreation ground, I guess you'd call it. And here's St John's Church. St John's Church Hayes, St John's Church Wickham. We've just gone past Wickham Hall. Anyway, we now go right down through the graves. So down these steps, and it looks like we strike out over the fields towards that next little cluster of suburbia. Nice little crazy golf course here as we just walk towards 3 Halfpenny Wood. Here we have Spring Park with another one of these enormous City of London signs that seem to mark all of the green spaces around here. And unbeknownst to me, this is the location near here of the Ancient Order of Froth Blowers. If you want to know more about them, pause the video just a few seconds. Out of the woods, back to civilization. Not a bad residential outer suburban road. Some pretty nice houses just to my right. The thing I forgot to mention is that as we went through 3 Halfpenny Wood, we passed into the London borough of Croydon. So this isn't the Croydon I remember, but we are in Croydon. And from here, Shirley Playing Fields, you get a view right to the centre of London. So there you can see the Shard and the other skyscrapers of the city. So back now onto one of these urban footpaths, now on our way to Addington Hill as the clouds once again gather overhead. Oh well. Hello, little chap.
Little wash. Sweet.
Worth the climb up the hill. Look at this view. Looking to the west over London. As we come round, you can see right to the other side where we'll be in a few days' time as we follow the loop around London. At least one of these transmitters coming into view is Crystal Palace. Don't know which one. The other one, I suppose, might be Alexander Palace on the other side, on the north of London. In fact, the farthest one probably is. And then zooming in on the city, see the Shard there, and all those tall buildings on the City of London. And as we carry on round, looking more eastward, northeasterly now, we come to that other great commercial centre of Canary Wharf. There we go, just coming into view now. Then out of town, I guess towards where we started, at Erith. Absolutely stunning. Looking forward to one going the other way. And here comes one of London's only trams, the Croydon tram system, going to New Addington. Bonus. You always get value in these videos. 2 trams for the price of 1. Now onwards to Heathfield. So here we are, we've just come into Heathfield, another old country park, or manor park, now in the London borough of Croydon, just by those trams. The guidebook calls this a veritable tunnel of shrubbery, and indeed it is. Here's Heathfield Manor, now Heathfield Training Centre. Doesn't say what it trains you for, but there we are. The reason we've just diverted down here is, firstly, this magnificent view across largely the London Borough of Croydon, believe it or not. And secondly, just before the next belt of rain comes over, this giant redwood in the garden. Magnificent tree. And luckily, as the rain comes on, I think we're going back into some woods so we can shelter. Just in time, we got under the trees, nice and dry, under this archway. Just entering Whytleafe Woods, which apparently is an area of ancient woodland, now owned by the Borough of Croydon, and managed by the Friends of Whytleafe Woods. And the London Loop passes through here and then runs along with the Vanguard Way for a while. I said that like I knew what the Vanguard Way was. I don't, but presumably it's another long distance path. And just as the rain comes across again, we're back in the woods. And here we have the Vanguard Way, and there we are. The sign tells us that it goes from East Croydon Station to Newhaven Harbour, and 62.5 and 3.5 is 66 miles. That would be a good walk to do. Watch out for videos coming soon. Uphill again. Total ascent for this section is just over 1,000 feet. So earned my beer tonight. So we've just come out of Baker Boy Lane and we're now in Surrey. We've docked out of London into the surrounding counties. This is where we leave the Vanguard Way, which goes off down there on its way to Newhaven Harbour. And the loop carries on down this path here beside this fairly busy road. So, back down this hedgerow track towards Fairly Common, nearly at Hamsey Green now, which is the end of section 4 of the orbital path. Well, that was a particularly treacherous steep path after this rain. Wet, slippy cobbles and leaves. Just about managed to stay upright. And now we've got this lovely view across this rolling farmland And in the distance there is the Selsdon Hall Hotel. Looks very nice. Now we're walking on into Mossy Hill Shore. Shore apparently is a word for scrubby woodland. Good for your dictionary or your crosswords. Okay, so now we're walking down Kingswood Lane into Hamsey Green. Rather handsome farm on our left. We're in Surrey, not Kent, but it does have a little bit of the Kent about it, I think. So here we are, just walking into Hamsey Green. Definitely a bit more rural, slightly more outside of London's edge. And Hamsey Green is where section 4 of the outer orbital path ends. We're going to do a little bit of section 5 to get to Whytleafe station. So this is the official end of section 4 of the loop. This is where you get a bus and then a train back to wherever you've come from. But we're not going to do that because we just want to do a little bit more. So we're going to carry on down there, the Pickshaw Lane, towards Whytleafe station. But before we do, we'll try and find a bite to eat down there. So fortified by a cheese and ham toastie at the Corner House Tea Room, off we go to Whytleafe. Okay, out over what the book calls a vast open space, the Sanderstead to Whytleafe countryside area. Well, it's an area and it is countryside, and very nice it is too. Well, sadly, it started to rain again and we've got to leave the shelter of these trees and strike out along here. But Whytleafe lies ahead, so we haven't got very far to go before the end of this section 4 and a bit of the London Loop. Well, the rain's left off for a bit, the sun's come out again, and we're now walking down Old Riddlesdown Road towards the railway, and then we'll go left down to the station. So here we are, just coming into Whytleafe, which is the end of today's walk. Just got to find the station now. So that's where we're going to go next time, down Old Barn Lane. But for now, we're off to find the station and the train back to London. So what a lovely walk again. Lucky with the rain, didn't get too wet. Glorious woods, some open spaces, a couple of little urban areas, and that nice little cafe near the end where we had that lovely toastie. So, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.